The Nigerian Labour Congress had on 2nd of August 2023 occupied the National Assembly complex to protest against hardship inflicted on Nigerians as a result of the removal of subsidy of petroleum. The protesters were led by National Chairman of NLC, Joe Ajaero, and Festus Osifo of the Trade Union Congress. Despite the protests and series of meetings with the federal government on the subsidy removal, hike on electricity and transportation, the federal government are yet to meet with the resolution by the NLC. However, the federal government has appealed for a period of 2 weeks to finalize the organized labor demands. The Minister of Labor and Employment, Simon Lalong, made this known while addressing journalists at the end of closed-door meeting with the Trade Union Congress on Monday in Abuja. Lalong says meeting was called to avert the proposed nationwide strike by the Nigerian Labour Congress, but the Nigerian Labour Congress has insisted that there is no going back on the planned 2-day warning strike over the failure of the federal government to address the challenges caused by the removal of the fuel subsidy. The Labour Union is accusing the federal government of abandoning the negotiations and failing to implement some of the resolution from the previous meeting with the government, saying Nigerian workers have been facing untold hardship since the fuel subsidy removal by the federal government. The Labour leader stated that all offices, including institutions, will be shut down and the nation's economy will be crippled due to the federal government's failure to listen to the cries of the masses. If the government fails to listen to the cry, Nigerian workers. Welcome to Big Talk with Kikelomo Okeri. Today we will be discussing about the implication of nationwide strike and the impact on the Nigerian economy. We will be right back after the short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I have with me in the studio Tony Idoko, a legal practitioner. We will be talking about the nationwide strike and the impact on the Nigerian economy. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome to studio. Welcome to Global Television. Sir, labor-related crises have continued in Tinubu government. I beg your pardon. Does it look as if there is a solution to this site,
Well, thank you very much. It's unfortunate that the Labour government impasse has continued, just like you said, into this government. Is there going to be a solution in sight? Certainly, if the government has, the government actually has the will to end all of this, if it really wants to, you know. So, I think that what the government needs to do is. Maybe the president needs to sit down with members of Labour, if government is sincere, you know, about ending this conundrum. I think that just having Labour speak with the members of the Minister of Labour, speak with the NLC and its members is not good enough. It's not enough. If you recall, during the last protest, I think a few days protest that they had the last time, you know, the protest went on the first, I think it was the second day. The president sent for them. They went in, and as soon as they came out, they ended the protest, you know, because they had a talk with the president, you know. If the president speaks directly with them, I think it will make more impact than just going to see the minister. Because as far as I'm concerned, the minister has he doesn't have the answers to the solution. It is what the president wants that the minister is going to do. So I noticed that all the other issues that they have had with, Labour has had with government. They've not been able to solve them, you know. The last Minister of Labour, Mr. Ngige, was very boisterous in his approach. Didn't help matters, you know. He worked with NLC and also with ASU, you recall. And I think that's not going to help. But you see, if the president wants to end this thing, if the president is really sincere about it, and it's not the Minister of Labour. Look, call some very eminent Nigerians to talk with Labour. Call, that is, if you can't do it directly. It's either you call them directly, you sit like this, you know, at the table with them and iron out what the issues are. Or if you are too busy, or for any reason you think you don't want to interface with Labour, call some people, not people who kowtow to you, not the ministers who have seen the body language of the president. If the president is not willing, you know, and then they go and discuss whatever they think is fitting also with Labour. In any case, whatever you discuss with Labour has to take it again back to the president. And I don't know what to tell the president. You understand? But if you were dealing with some very eminent patriotic Nigerians, take for instance, if I were the president, it's either I sit directly with them or I beg maybe the Sultan of Sokoto. I call maybe the Oba of Benin, very eminent people that Labour respect. Because in my estimation, I don't think that Labour has enough esteem for even the ministers. They see them as politicians who are just coming to speak on behalf of government, you know. But if you call these very eminent people like the Bishop Kuka, let them sit with these guys. People who will tell the president the truth. They listen to them. They understand because these are representative of the people. The Sultan, the Oba, like I said, of Benin. You can bring in someone like Bati Kuka. They all represent the people. They understand the pulse of the people. They will tell the president the truth because they're not the president's ministers. They're not the president's anything. They're just they are the president's friends. You understand? They can tell you, look, Mr. President, this is what's going on. This, if you want stable, your government to be stable, you want this, you want that, you just have to do this. You know, at best, maybe we can meet, you know, maybe midway, you know. Maybe people will tell him the truth. You know, I think that way government might be able to listen. But you just going to see the minister. You can see that they were supposed to have a meeting with the ministers. They didn't even honor the invitation because they don't trust the minister. They don't, you know, and all of that. And the minister is trying to make excuses. The minister is looking at the body language of the government, of the president, you know, and then, look, if the president gives a matching order to the minister and says, look, I want this matter resolved. This is what I want. Whatever they want, bring it and let's discuss it. You will see how you will see how the ministers will move. I know, you know, quickly, and they will end this thing. But everybody are just dilly-dallying because, you see, that's what I think the government has not acted in very good faith. If you ask me, that's my opinion. I don't think.
You know, this situation didn't just start now. It didn't start from this administration.
Yes.
It has been on from one administration to the other about this labor strike, this minimum wage. We must increase fuel price. We have to increase minimum wage. What do you think can be? How do you think it can be settled amicably, as in a landing solution for the two parties, for the both parties?
In fairness to this government, they inherited this problem.
Yes.
Or let me say, not even the government per se. Let me say President Tinubu inherited the problem. But it's an APC problem. Okay? Now, APC did not help matters at all. I can't remember at any time when President Buhari met with members of Labour. You know? And so I would say that given what Nigerians passed through in the last 8 years, ordinarily they should not have voted for APC at all. But perhaps because of the person of President Tinubu, you know, there were people who felt that, look, he was not part of the government, even though he was very central in bringing the last government to power. But I think he himself, I'm sure, was not so happy with the way the last president went about things, the governance and all of that. And so people were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because of his person, because of who he was perceived to be. You understand? We knew about him gathering people, like they said, eggheads everywhere. You know, he was governor of Lagos and all of that. He wasn't someone that just happened here. We had followed him, you know, and everybody was like, look, Tinubu is different. Tinubu will make things work and all of that. And so Tinubu came in. And so that's why people went and voted for him. And INEC said he got 8 million votes. A lot of people, that means, shows people didn't really turn out the way people were supposed to come out, you know, and everything. But he's here, he's the president. You know, but he shocked Nigerians when he came, and the first thing he said, one of the first things he said on his inauguration was to remove fuel subsidy. Okay. And a lot of people think that, and I think also that that was not a very wise decision to make. You see, that's why where we are. You can see how things have turned out for Nigerians. Everybody feels it. There's no one who is not feeling it right now. You understand? In terms of transportation, in terms of housing, in terms of school fees and all of that. Everything has gone up. Fees, schools have jacked their fees by 100,000. You know, imagine if you have 4 children in school and you have to pay additional 100,000 from what you were paying before. Some schools 50,000 and all of that. They increase everything, development levy, and I think that I'm making a clarion call to the Minister for Education. He needs to look into that. In Kano State, and I saw Kano State government, you know, Kano State government stopped it. It stopped private schools from increasing school fees. I think the Minister of Education needs to look at it. He needs to look at that arbitrary and illegal increment of even development fee and all of that. And like I was telling someone, say, what if everybody decides what if landlords decide to also add development fee to their rent? What if the drivers also decide to add development fee? Schools cannot be running. You can't be bringing and, you know, even increasing your illegal development fee, which, you know, you can't be. We are paying you tuition fee and we are paying you fee to develop your property, your business. Again, what if everybody does that? If you go to the market and no man who is selling business and everything also has development fee, because everybody is developing something. Everybody has to develop. You're not developing yourself, but you have a project you are developing. You have children you are developing in school. So we add all of that, you know. So this is part of the problems that all of this has created. And so we said in the beginning, is it going to be sustainable? 617 naira per liter. From 190 something, you can see the problem, the serious problem. And then 2 months down the line, no, you don't have. I don't know whether they have increased salaries for you here, but even government that did it has not increased salaries. It says, okay, we're going to increase salary for workers. It hasn't done that, and so workers are still where they were as at before 29th May. So things are really tough. People are going through excruciating experiences, you know, and so. Did government actually inherited part of the problem, but the government has also added to the problem, okay? And so, but you see, every problem has a solution. All we need to do is for these parties to sit down, and as it is today, no matter what government says, you can bring all the spokesmen and listen to them, they say all kinds of things. The people who are feeling the pinch, they cannot understand you. They can never be on your side. Life is tough for them. They can hardly feed, you know. Things have gone. Look, there are people, especially the pensioners, who are on, maybe because of the level of, because of where they are by virtue of their age and all of that, they are on some kinds of drugs, daily drugs that they take every day. Some are they're diabetic, they're this, they're that. All of these things have gone up. And so how can they cope? You understand? That's why government needs to be really compassionate. And they're looking at the fact that the same government, you increase the fuel, you remove the subsidy, fuel went up, you took 70 billion naira and you gave to National Assembly. People were not suffering. You follow? You just shed money like that. A few weeks ago, they said they gave money to governors, 5 billion or so. They're going to give governors about 5 billion, but they're giving them 2 billion, all of that. You know that, look, I told someone, I said, out of that 5 billion, any governor who spends 1 billion is kind. Is a kind governor. We'll just have to clap for him. We'll have to thank him if he can spend 1 billion. Well, we know our governors. I've always said it. The problem of Nigeria is in the states. Yeah. It's not even the federal government there. No, though the problems are big, but they are trying. At the center, our presidents have always tried. The problems are, if the state governors were doing half what the presidents, both present and past, what they've been doing, what they have done and all of that, the states will be a lot better, and many people will not be in Abuja and Lagos and all of that. People will remain in the states, people will remain in the villages, you know. These are people that they collect local government funds, they waste them, they don't do anything, and then you are giving them, you want to give them 5 billion to buy rice. Buy rice for who? And what is that even going to do? That you call palliative. You know, and I feel a little scandalized, okay, that as Nigerians, we're not in a war situation, okay? Where it's not as if, you see, recently there was this serious fire outbreak in Hawaii, in US, you know, and then there's this latest one in Florida, where this hurricane and all of that, and then you can see people have been displaced, water everywhere. You know, you can take palliatives to those people. But we're talking about a normal economy where normal, sensible people, you are serving us palliatives. I mean, what's that? No, we should be working. Economy should be vibrant. People should be up and doing. You know, any money. Not people. Why are you giving us palliative? You understand? If you fix the economy, look at all that money, 5 billion. Imagine 5 times 36 plus FCT 7. Imagine all that billions. If you had plans, if you put that money into just think of one part of the economy that you put. Imagine the kind of employment that will generate if we are really willing. But you took it to give people to go and buy rice. They'll buy rice. How are they going to share that rice? Now I heard they say, oh, it's one state, one trailer. Even if you bring how many trailers? Even if you bring 10 trailers, even if you bring 100 trailers of cement of rice, what's that? How is that going to go around a state? There's no state in Nigeria where we don't have minimum 2 million people. 2 million. Okay? So how do you share all these bags? How do you share it? How many mudu are they going to share? Even if you gave each family a bag of rice, how long is that going to take? It will finish. You understand? But if you use that money to create, to create job, to create employment, families will be feeding. As you are earning, there are also you have your downlines. There are people you are also helping. You have siblings, you have sisters, someone who will call you and say, "Oh, please, this thing, life is a little tough, or I need money for someone." Say, "Okay, no matter how you complain, you will send something." You understand? I mean, that's better than just giving it to governors. Do you think governors will spend that 5 billion? Or as the money is landing, to just take the 5 billion, go and spend it, and then you spend everything? No, there will be logistics. The people they are going to buy the rice. It's going to be based maybe on one contract. Somebody is going to have that contract. They give it to party people and all of that. At the end of the day, they won't spend up to 1 billion. The rest 4 billion they'll put it somewhere. There will be people that will chop, people that will do this and all of that. So I think the president can do better. Unfortunately, he has traveled while this is going on. Even though I wish he was around so that the way he handled it the first time when they protested, when they came to him in the villa, when he sat with them and talked, and then they came out, and they were happy. You could see that they shook hands, they came out, and then they called off the protest. That's the picture there. I wish that was possible if he was around. Just call them and sit and you see how things will just fizzle out. At least, even if because you can't be paying people 30,000 minimum wage and you expect them to survive like this. 30,000? Haba. Look, we say that Nigeria is we say what do you call it in Africa? The giant of Africa, and then the something economy of Africa. We're the biggest economy in Africa.
Giant of Africa.
Yes, we're the giant and we're also the biggest economy in Africa.
In Africa, yeah.
You understand? We're the biggest economy in Africa, pays the least salary in Africa. How can you pay people 30,000? What's 30,000? 30,000 naira. What can that buy? 30,000 cannot even fuel any car today. The least car, if it's empty, it's gone. You understand? And then out of that 30,000, somebody is supposed to feed his family. And even the 30,000, a lot of states are not even paying. That's even another topic for another day. There are many states that are not even paying that 30,000. Some states are still paying 18,000. You understand? So, assuming they were even paying 30,000, what's 30,000 today? What's even 100,000 today? It's gone. $1 today is about, maybe, I was just checking shortly last time. $1 as of today is about 1,150. So that's your 30,000. I don't know how many pounds it is. Maybe it's about some few shillings, and then it's gone. You follow? So government just needs to, add empathy, to all of this. Empathize with the people. Look at people are suffering. I tell you, forget about what your aides. Forget about what do you call them? All these who hang around offices who like to speak sweet words to the president. You're not helping the president. What the president needs to hear is the truth. The president needs to get the truth. You understand? So that you can see where, but not when you come and tell you are the best man. You are, yeah, we know that's why we voted for him, because the Nigerians believe he is the best. That's why they voted for him. So there's nothing you're telling him that is new. Don't tell him, don't come and be taken. People are suffering, genuine suffering, really suffering.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll take a little short break now. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. This is Big Talk with Kikelomo Ukeri. We've been talking about nationwide strike and the impact on the Nigerian economy. And we've been speaking with Tony Idoko, a legal practitioner. We've been discussing how the Labour Congress and the federal government can have can solve this matter amicably, so that everybody at the end of the day will smile. Sir, considering the impact of the fuel subsidy on people, because now the cost of living is relatively very high, do you think that the fuels and the subsidy removal should be returned?
See, what the president should have done when he came, things were already really terrible before he came. He said we're borrowing money and all of that, and we didn't have enough and all of that. You know, we have been hearing this thing about, oh, if they don't remove the subsidy, that the country will be grounded or something, economy will be grounded. And we've been hearing that since Jonathan. Since when Jonathan was president, if you don't remove this subsidy, there will be nothing. This country will collapse. The economy will collapse. It never collapsed. Those are just stories. It never collapsed. Here we are. You understand? And so the president came and said, oh, the country is going to collapse. Jonathan removed it. When people protested, he took it back. The country did not collapse. So they came and said, oh, the country will collapse. What will collapse the country, or our economy, or whatever? It's not the subsidy. It is the corruption. It's the corruption that is collapsing the economy, or collapsing the country. Not, okay, when they removed the something, we now discover that the quantity they said Nigeria was consuming was a lie. So you see, there was corruption there. So that was what I expected the president to do. Look at that corruption. Not some people, you know, people who deceive him, they come online and they tell us, come on television, and they say, oh, he was very bold. Oh, thank God for that courage. He was courageous. He was courageous. All the other presidents were not courageous. I said, that's not courage. Courage is not is not, you don't take a decision that punishes the poor and say you are courageous. No, courage is dealing with those guys who are causing the problem. That's where you go to say, look, there's corruption. Why did they say there's corruption around the subsidy regime? So what do? You do an investigation. In any case, we know the people who are doing this thing. When Jonathan was president, there was the House of Reps did an investigation. They invited people. We saw children and relatives of their party members who were involved in the subsidy corruption. What happened to them? Nothing. They let them go. So it's not like we don't even know the people. We knew the people. They knew the people all along, but they let them. They didn't do anything. But now you now start dealing with the poor, the innocent poor man. You follow? So I think that if I were the president, what I would have done, if things are so tough, you let the people know. And the people voted for you. It's not so. No matter, people voted for you. So what you do, you let them know, okay, look, instead of this 670 that is causing all this problem, so look, we need to adjust this, our fuel price. Maybe bring it from that 190 something, maybe to 250. That's still a lot of money, or 300. You understand? So why that money is coming in, we don't want to see why that money is coming, because this is actually a time for everybody to make sacrifice. Yeah. Tell us, we will agree if we also see, we believe you, if we also see that you're making sacrifice, we'll see people in government. But when you increase and you take 70 billion and give to some people, the Nigerians are looking at this and they're like, no, we're the ones, you're telling us, oh, I understand your pain. You're telling us that. You say, whoa, please make sacrifice. We're making the sacrifice. People have been trekking, people have been suffering, they've been sacrificing. No, nothing, no protest, nothing. And yet we are seeing people, and then we see National Assembly who are sending prayers. They say, just finish, I've sent you prayers. Why people are suffering? Why people are watching that? They won't be happy. Yeah. So what the president was supposed to do is, okay, you know what? See, No, government is making a lot of money. But government is not just about you making money, plenty. No, you make money. It is gradual. Government is a continuum. It's little by little. Wherever you stop, somebody else will come and continue. Just make some money. Why you use that money to start fixing things, small. The money you're getting, fix refinery. Build more. Let our refineries be working. If our refineries are working, would we be buying fuel at this price? You are still import. How can we be? Look, Nigeria is about the 11th or 15th biggest oil producer in the world. We are the only country. Okay, Nigeria is the only oil producing country in the world out of about 90. I think about 90 or so. I'm not so sure. Oil producing countries. Nigeria is the only oil producing country that imports fuel. The only one. America has almost close, if not over 200 refineries. In Africa, South Africa has about either 5 or 6 refineries. They don't have the kind of oil we have. We are number 1 in Africa and about number 11 also in the whole world. When we are talking about oil, South Africa, Egypt, all these countries, they don't hold a candle to Nigeria. They're not close. But they all have, South Africa has oil refineries, Egypt has oil refineries, all these small, Gabon, all this, they have oil refineries. We don't have. We're importing. To tell me if something is not wrong with us. Clearly something is wrong. Why are we importing? Why can't we fix our refineries? Make the refineries to work. That's what we expected our government to do. Make it to work. Okay? And then if you must increase it small, so that we can understand, we can see people working. But what we have seen, what is making really aching Nigerians is that they look at people in government, both at the state and at the federal level, and they cannot see sacrifice. The sacrifice we are making, we cannot see commensurate sacrifice from you, from the people. Okay? What we expect them to do is to say, okay, why this is going on, we'll be doing it, fix power. As that money is coming in, fix. Look at so many people. There's no work. So all this crime, Boko Haram, whatever you call it, it's as a result of if look, they say the devil, an idle mind is devil's workshop. Is that not so? Yeah. So when people are idle, when we're not doing anything, look at Kaduna. When we're growing up, look at Kaduna. Kaduna was a hub, an industrial hub. Where are all the textile companies? Is it unfortunate that we had a president who was from that part of the country and they could not even, not even one refinery. They couldn't fix one textile company. Textile, Adams Oshomole, that's why they play. He cut his teeth. All this activism from that place. There were refineries, there were textile companies working everywhere. Where's PAN? Where's Volkswagen? Where's Leyland? Where are all these countries? We had, is it Michelin or Dunlop? They were all here. What happened? They left. No, what we're supposed to do is, why did all these people leave? We sit down. That's what the economic team does. What can we do to bring them back and to bring back more? We're not doing that. We're just sharing money. Somebody called it feeding bottle federalism. They just come and they share money, then governors go back, do whatever they want to do. And so, look, we need to get back to the drawing table. And this president has the greatest opportunity. Look at the way people are jackpotting everywhere. Our people have become, and see how Nigerians are suffering. You can't tell you, go and write IELTS exam. Even people are going to go and find out from what those people who are jackpot to Canada, what they do. Then go and write IELTS exam. Why are you asking Nigerians to go and write IELTS exam? It's because it's a sea finish. Because our people, we're an English-speaking country. English is our national language. English is our first language. We're a Commonwealth country with Canada, with all these people, and yet they tell us, go and, you see somebody who has a PhD in English, you tell him, go and write IELTS exam. What's that? And now, I heard that they've even increased it to about 100 and something thousand from even 78,000. It's now 100 and something thousand. They're making money off us. Not far from here, if you go to the British Embassy here in the morning, you will see people everywhere. It's not like Nigerians didn't used to travel before. But suddenly, people want to run away. Why? Why? Because there are no jobs. There's no security. People are hungry. You have a child that's finished school. You are begging for him to get employed. Graduates are driving Okada. Graduates are driving keke, and yet once in a while you wake up and they tell you, oh, keke has they banned keke and all of that. Look, we just need to stop all of that. This president has the greatest opportunity, to take us back to those good days, at least gradually, Let's get back to those days that Nigeria used to be good. Nigeria used to be okay. He has the greatest opportunity, and I pray that God will help him to make that decision.
Amen. Well, this is where we draw the curtain on Big Talk this evening. Join us same time tomorrow on this same station, Global Television Channel 276. I am Kike Lomo Okeri. Good evening.